Hello there folks, how you doing? It's been a wee while. I've been busy. I've been busy off various projects and personal admin and bits and pieces, ranging from a trip to the dentist for a checkup that was a wee bit overdue because of the restrictions, to working away in my garden. It's super dry just now, so I haven't really been doing much planting, but I have done a little bit. And I built some box shelves on the back of the shed door to add a little bit extra storage capacity to the workshop there. But one of the main things I've been doing is prepping the van for a road trip. Mo and I are pretty much good to go. She's got a little bit of work to do, which requires her to be at home and on the computer, but I think by Thursday we'll have the preparations complete, everything in the back of the van, and we'll get away up the road. So I'll tell you where we're heading, folks. We're going up to Skye first, and we're going to hopefully have a night in one of my favourite locations there. And then actually I'm just going to jump on the boat. I'm going up to Uig and then across to Lochmaddy, North Uist, and then I'm going to wind my way down across Benbecula to my brother's croft on South Uist. We're going to set up a base there, a wee base camp with the camper van, plug into the back of his workshop and get a little bit of power, and then help my brother out with a few chores. But mostly we're going to hopefully explore the hills, a bit of fishing. I'm taking my pack craft with me, so I might be able to do a little bit of pack crafting. A lot depends on the weather. The US can be quite challenging for outdoor activity with the wind and the rain, so they've had a long dry spell. Like I say, it's very dry here. I'm just scrambling about on the coast today. I'm doing quite a long circuit. Started off from the house this morning and I'll end up back at the house mid-afternoon. There's going to be a wee sprinkle of rain coming in later this evening, but I think tomorrow's going to be a proper wet day, so good for the garden tomorrow. So I've got some vegetable soup here, some oat cakes. Going to have a wee bite to eat, recharge the batteries. It's high tide just now, that's why I've got to scramble up and over all these wee rocky bluffs and outcrops. I could of course just go inland, but I quite enjoy the sport of making my way along the coastline when the water is right up against the rocks. So let me get my bit of lunch here. I'll get back to you in a wee while. Well folks, I hope you enjoyed that wee walk. You've seen a fair bit of that coastline in the past few weeks and months. But like I was saying, we're good to go. We're heading up the road later this week. The wagon is more or less packed. I've got a few bits and pieces to sort out. And that was just a grand shower of rain that we've had. It's also forecast for rain pretty much all day tomorrow, so I think I can probably put this hose pipe away. I've done a wee bit of planting, not very much. I'll give you a quick glimpse of it, but let's get this hose pipe away first. So I'll give you a wee glimpse at one or two corners of the garden. It'll give you a flavour of what I'm trying to achieve here. Really, this long border is going to be a mixed border with some shrubs, such as the rhododendron there, and predominantly perennial plants, herbaceous perennials. So we've got a Lysimachia there, and we've got various things that come from the old garden, such as the Berginia there. It was a wild collected one, and then this geranium, and the dianthus, campanula, and a little thalictrum that also came from the old garden. And then I have some phlox there. Phlox is a kind of a throwback to my time in northeast China, where I designed a big landscape that focused on the phlox, which is often called pink moss. So I planted countless millions, yeah, you heard that right, millions, probably, I don't know, somewhere around 6 or 7 million of them on a mountainside. And in the month of May, the mountainside just turns pink and white with the phlox blooms. It's quite a simple landscape actually, but on a grand scale it looks quite impressive. So this is a pretty shady wee corner, folks. So I've got a white broom in there, really a nurse plant. It's not intended to be in this garden for many years. I'll probably keep it in that location for 2 or 3 years until some of the other stuff establishes. And I have quite a few nurse plants I've dotted along here that they'll serve a purpose until I get the actual plant material that I want, and until some of the choicer plants mature a little bit. So they're early structure plants. They're cheap and cheerful, fast growing, easy to grow, and gradually they'll be replaced, hopefully, with some plants that are a wee bit more special. So I've got some crocosmia there. I've got a royal fern, Osmunda regalis, in the back there, and I had 3 clumps of that in my old garden. It's a really bonny thing, and it grows up about this high, so you get the beautiful green foliage in the spring and the summertime. It's a wee bit late in emerging, and it's particularly late just now because it's under stress having just been moved, so I'm hoping that it's going to do okay. And I've got a collection of hostas and a leucothoi there, and I've got this black-leaved plant under my canoes there. It's a plant called Ophiopogon. It's a Japanese plant. So progress is very slow, and these rectangular borders, they're going to be reshaped at some point in the future. So the lawn is going to be a big oval shape, and where you're standing just now, there'll be a tree in there, and then up in the other corner there'll be a smaller tree. So there'll be quite a reasonable sized tree growing up to about 5 meters, just a little bit back from where you're standing there, and that will provide shade for the garden. I'm not a sun lover. I like a shady green garden, and I like dappled shade. I don't want intense shade. I want the sunlight and the shade to work together, and I'm not very keen on bright colours. What I'm looking for in the garden is something that is really quite subtle. Anyway, we're waxing lyrical here. I said I was going to keep this video short. Let's go. Just before I go, folks, I'll show you this. It's one of the plants from the old garden. It's a Euphorbia nematocipha, and struggling a wee bit, but it will settle in. Just a wee cutting, and that's the reason why I'm reluctant to go too fast with the garden. I want to see if my choice plants settle in first before I add too many other things. And the same again, we've got some green shoots coming in there of another choice plant. The wee marker is just so that I know where it is, that I don't plant one of my cheap and cheerful plants over the top of one of my treasures. So the garden is work in progress, coming along quite slowly really. I'm not too worried about that. Well folks, it's been a busy day. I hope you enjoyed that wee hike along the coast there and a glimpse at the garden. I'm working away this evening preparing the van for our road trip. So like I was saying, we're heading up to the Hebrides at the end of this week. The original plan was to combine a highland and island trip and stay out as long as we possibly could without any particular destination in mind, just to make it up as we went along. However, we've had to change the plans a little bit because I have to come back down the road for my second injection as part of the vaccination programme, and actually Mo has a dental appointment as well. But we're going to take you with us. We're going to get up to the Hebrides. We're going to have a bit of fun up there. A different scene for you. You'll be getting fed up looking at that coastline that I've been filming over the last few weeks and months of the lockdown. So we'll see what we can get up to in the Hebrides, and then later in the summer we'll go up back to the Highlands, maybe even to the islands again. We'll keep the adventures rolling, see if we can get a little bit of momentum into the channel. But for now, it's time that Dave Outdoors went indoors to have a quick cup of tea. Like I say, it's been a long day, so lovely to have your company again, and hope you found this wee channel update useful. So stay safe folks. The next time we check in with you, we'll be on the road, either in the Hebrides or on the way. So bye for now.